this is coffee. Coffee and contemplation. Proper coffee and contemplation. And I think my feed is still trying to get caught up. Nope, there it goes. Which, I mean, I can't blame it. Burn BX is a lot more pleasant to look at than me. I'm the first one to say that. But it's weird. I am struggling to remember the last time I felt nervous about going on in chat, and I'm a little nervous because I feel like I know what I'm talking about, but at the same time I have a lot of catching up to do. And I I usually keep this feed very light and fun, That's kind of the way I game. But we really do need to talk about what's going on at Bungie. And I can't really talk. I really can't talk. I can't talk with a voice of authority because I don't work at Bungie. I'm not at Bungie. I just know that they got a lot. They got a lot to answer for, and they got a lot to figure out. And I didn't think I would ever say this about a company as big as Bungie, but I actually feel bad for what they're going through. I really feel bad for them. And I say that because you look at the way Comcast, maybe I'm comparing apples and oranges, but when you look at Comcast and the way they're talking about net neutrality, and it's obvious, it is painfully obvious with the stilted statements and the way that they're communicating and carrying themselves in the argument against net neutrality. And you compare that to Bungie and what they're doing with the Destiny 2 issues and the way they're handling it. Comcast has got their money. They don't care. They don't care. Bungie has their money. They shouldn't care. But I really get the impression that they do. And one of the things I want to say about that is I feel that way because of the way Deej is handling every comment. If you want to do a side by side comparison, look at how Deej being the community manager over at Bungie. You look at the way Deej is handling the people that are talking to him, and he is the first line of defense. I remember one time making a joke about how I didn't particularly care for the way Deej carried himself in the last stream because secretly I wanted his job. Then I saw some of the comments he was fielding, and I'm like, be careful what you wish for, because that's not an easy job. And I feel I want to just come on here because I know I've said on the stream before that I felt like in the last stream, Deej looked like he needed to take a nap or something like that. I apologize. That was a petty thing to say because I do want his job, but at the same time, he's dealing with a lot, and there's a lot that he can't deal with in the moment. So I'm gonna maybe repeat myself on some of these points, but I'm gonna go on ahead and introduce myself again. I'm T. Morris. I'm the Reluctant Gamer. You can call me T. You can call me the T Monster. And you're probably wondering, why does he call himself the Reluctant Gamer? And what's with the heavy talk? Well, first I have actual coffee. That's a huge improvement from. That's a huge That's a huge improvement from yesterday. The improved sweetener / creamer that I came up with yesterday was a disaster. And if you want to see that, go on ahead and take a look at my previous broadcast of this. Call myself the Reluctant Gamer because I'm a science fiction fantasy author. Been published both independently as well as in New York. Currently getting ready to wrap up a series with my wife. And there's Mickey. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. Let me get out of this first. And I actually am glad that Mickey popped in because I want to... Ooh. There we go. Because I wanted to get Mickey's take on this as well.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. So that's why I call myself the Reluctant Gamer. And I'm glad Mickey's here because as you can see, Mickey, by my title, I'm gonna try to talk heavy while playing the Crucible, which could be fun to watch. All right. First, I have to paint the picture. When last week's stream happened, I was at work. So I'm multitasking while watching the stream. Mm-hmm. And you want to know, and maybe I'm being overly dramatic, maybe I'm remembering it the way I want to remember it, but I can honestly say, I can tell you when I looked away from the stream. I looked away from the stream after they had opened the 2 chests.
Yep.
So when yesterday people are talking about the hashtag 2 tokens in a blue, I'm like, what the hell are they talking about? So I went back in the feed, and you missed it earlier because I was coming online, but I apologized about my statements towards Deej because I made the crack that Deej looked like he needed a nap. But when I went back and watched that portion of the feed by itself, it's not that. Deej was fine until that moment. And you see him go straight into damage control. You see him go, and then you see that sweet moves. You see that there's this little pause, and you hear you can actually, now this is me being dramatic, but you can feel the energy level in his voice plummet. And when the camera goes back, the developer on the far end of the couch, not the one closest to Deej, but the other one, the Silver Fox guy, he's playing it off. He's yucking it up and things like that. But you look at the other developer, and he just wants to crawl under a rock. And I think this is the difference. I was doing a side-by-side comparison between how Bungie is handling an issue versus the way Comcast is handling an issue. One company does not give a shit about what you feel. One company does not care. And the more they say, well, we're never going to throttle in, this is the whole net neutrality thing. I know that's something you don't worry about in Germany. But but they don't care about you, which is why they're pushing so hard for this net neutrality, to get rid of net neutrality. And it's obvious because they're using the same canned responses and the same, and they're not changing a freaking thing. Versus Bungie, who are trying to fix it. But let's just be honest. Last week was a bad week for Bungie. It was a bad week for Bungie. And when you see that 2 tokens in a blue moment in the feed, it's hard to watch. It is hard to watch because you can hear Deej's voice building up, talking about this great raid, talking about all this great stuff, and then suddenly, it's almost as if someone just took a baseball bat to his gut, and I really feel bad for Bungie. I really sincerely believe they want to make the best game. Because nobody likes being talked about in a bad way, but man, especially when you read the comments that Deej is fielding, it's rough. He's got a hard heart. His job is not easy by any stretch of the imagination.
I mean, to be true, if even if they drop the XP at the end, hey, you got the first 3 levels with the triple XP.
Well, that's now that I still need to do some homework on, but the way I understood it and the way it was explained on Aura's feed yesterday, that has something directly to do with with the XP that people were buying from Pop-Tarts and from Rockstar and stuff like that. Or that came into play with it. Basically, they found out that all that money that they were spending on Rockstar and on Pop-Tarts and all these ways to get XP. This is the way I understand it. Because the XP system was broken, that all that extra XP that people were buying didn't matter. It didn't matter in the end. Now, I don't have as Aura said in his talk yesterday. He said, oh, and I should probably do this because I got a command for it now. I got a command for it now.
Aura.
There you go. Boom. This is the guy I'm talking about, Evil Aura. He said in his feed yesterday, he's like, I didn't have a horse in that race, and neither did I. I my thoughts when I saw the Rockstar codes and people were like, hey, you gonna start drinking Rockstar now? I'm like, no, I'm gonna play the game. If I want XP, I'm gonna play the freaking game. I'm not gonna buy an energy drink. I'm not gonna buy a freaking Pop-Tart. I'm gonna play the game. That's the way I'm gonna play. Hey, Munch. Good morning, Munch. How are you? Thanks for joining us, man.
Morning, Munch.
So Munch, we were talking about the 2 tokens in a blue and what happened. So when I was watching the feed last week,
Supremacy.
I looked away. I looked away at the moment of 2 tokens in a blue. So when they were talking about when Aura was talking about this particular moment, I had to go back into the system. I had to go back to the feed and go, okay, well, there he is. Well, then I had to. That was sloppy. I had to go back into the Bungie feed and say, okay, where is this? Where and when did this happen? Okay. Oop. Over here. Whoa. I'm getting hammered. So so I went back to the Bungie feed and I watched the replay. And that was when I saw it and I was like, "Oh man, this is bad." 2 punches, really? Just 2 punches. 2 punches. Huh. And watching that particular moment, that 2 tokens in a blue moment, I think it's unfair that people are lashing out, and I get it. They're lashing out at they lash out at Deej because they feel like there's no one else they can lash out against. But it's a bad moment. It is not going to go down as one of Bungie's better moments.
No, it won't.
Whoa.
Looking forward what they will do, because they will do something.
They
need to do something about it.
Yeah, they need to address it. They can't pretend that it didn't happen. And I think that's part. I think that's part of where I think people are being unfair with Bungie. People are pissed that they turned off the feed for today. That they said, well, we're going to do a blog post instead. And we're gonna and we're going to look ahead to. And we're going to look ahead to what's happening next, and yet, you know, we were talking, you know, even Aura was saying, so you know, we don't know why they're suddenly cutting off the feed, and I'm like, no, I know exactly why they're cutting off the feed. This is damage control. They've had a terrible week. They've had an absolutely terrible week with the whole thing with the XP. And then the 2 tokens and a blue. And, yeah, if you want to see some serious ire, go on ahead and do that. Go on ahead and look at... Oh, crap. Ah, dude. Ah, frig. Look up on Twitter, 2 tokens and a blue. Look it up as a hashtag. Whew. It is fugly. It is absolutely fugly, that hashtag. Alright, where are they? Oh, there they are. Oh, great. Got a Warlock with a sword. And the Warlock is down. Oh, no. The Warlock's not down. Damn it.
Be down. I'm down.
Yeah.
No, he's down. But no, there's another one with.
Yeah.
That's a hunter.
Yeah, they got a lot of heavy. These folks got a crap ton of heavy, apparently. So you gotta start playing smart. There we go. Hunter down. And that guy's got... Oh, oh crap! Man, I get caught in those little sticky out points in walls. I get caught on those more than anything else in this damn game. I'll be like backing up, like, wait, I'm not backing up. Why am I not backing up? Why am I not backing up? Ooh, nice one. Alright, where are you?
How does he get this heavy so quick?
Whoa, oh, ouch. But, but I really do believe that the smartest thing Bungie could have done was say, and I think Deej said it best. He said we needed to put some things down in writing instead of having an armor parade. And I totally agree with him. I totally agree with him. All right. Tell me that was my guy that picked up the. Tell me that was my guy that picked up my crest. No, it didn't look like it. But but the smartest thing Bungie could have done was say, guys, we need to reassess. We need to reassess what's going on. And wow, whew. It was because otherwise it was just going to be, you know, well, you know, here we are, we're burying our heads in the sand and we're pretending that nothing is wrong. And I tell you, you have to see that moment to really appreciate how to really appreciate how there he is. How they knew. I mean, he knew in that moment. He knew in that moment that that everything that they were building up, you know, saying, "Oh, this is going to have the best rewards, the greatest rewards." You know, very Trump-esque moment. It's going to have the greatest rewards.
Yeah. 1 minute.
Really? This is a really up-close weapon, isn't it?
apologize for this loss.
That was a close one at the end.
Yeah, hey, we closed the gap, at least that much.
Discourage you. Fight hard and glory will be yours again.
Oh crap! All right, I've got to fix that, Munch. I got to fix that. I haven't had a chance to fix it yet. I was honestly, Munch. The reason why I did not, I don't have any new. Oh, geez, deleted all kinds of stuff for you, Munch. Jeez, I'm sorry about that. No, that's on me. That's on me. My bad. The reason there are no new commands and why I haven't had a chance to really tinker and dicker around with new commands was because. I was busy last night putting up a new podcast for the shared desk, and then kind of getting caught up on the whole 2 tokens and a blue thing. I even explained 2 tokens and a blue to Pip, who doesn't game, and she looked at me like, "Oh my God, that's bad." And I didn't realize how broken the reward system was until I looked at some old footage. I had some old footage from last week in the Iron Band. No, not last week. 2 weeks ago at the faction rally, and I was in the Crucible, and I made like a really quick kill or something like that. And when I made that kill, I got some faction tokens. I got 5 faction tokens for something that took me 10 seconds to do. Okay, 5 faction tokens for a 10-second movement. And when you think about the public event that they unveiled at the last where these guys went through a 10-minute public event in 3 different zones with all these tasks to do.
Strike.
Yeah, it was
nearly a strike.
It was nearly a strike. And then they got two tokens out of 2 chests. I'm like, oh, I get it now. I get it. I get it now. Which goes to show you when you're trying to multitask with Twitch, it's the moment you look away when shit really goes down. But yeah, I'm gonna have to fix that. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I should probably make you a moderator, Munch, and then you can go on ahead and do that. Yeah, I need to make. I'm actually going to. That was on my to-do list today. Was to get into the. I was going to go on ahead and get into. Get in here and take care of that. That's a minute 13. Okay. I think they're in the tunnel. Yep, they're in the tunnel. They were in the tunnel. Oh, no. Oh, crap. Didn't mean to do that. Ah. Got a little too wacky with my grenade. All right, I'm right behind you, Mickey. But that's oh, to our left. And I got hung up on the damn architecture again. Jeez. And remember, T, you're playing a hunter. You've got this thing called dodge. Freaking use it. I always forget about the dodge. Well, damn it. Ah, I'm stuck. Shit. See what I mean? That was what I was talking about. That little edge right there. That little gold edge. This is why I hate the Vex so much. Their architecture's for shit. They need to be more minimalist in their architecture. They're too complicated.
That's the Vex for you.
I know. Pain in the asses.
Mines. I love these pulse nades as long as I have them.
Oh, he's camping. He's camping.
Where?
Oh, he's camping by the heavy. He was camping by the heavy. Yeah, I know. Fucking Vex. But yeah, I just feel that, you know, a lot of people have been very critical on they've been very critical on Bungie deciding, yeah, we're not gonna do our stream today. And really, I think that they had to take a breath and say, all right, how do we fix this? How do we make this right? I mean, I am one of those people. Whoa! Walked right by me. Ran right by me. I am one of those people that I mean, I invested in the digital deluxe edition, and they've got my money. They don't have to. There we go. There we go. Ouch. And they, you know, as far as they're concerned, they got my money. They don't have to worry. They don't have to worry a toss about you know, me. But this is a business, and they know that if people aren't talking about them in a nice way, then they're gonna. Okay, I don't feel so bad now because I just watched that hunter get caught up in the architecture as well. Oh, he's doing the anime run.
Drag them back.
But they needed to take a breath, and that's what I was talking about yesterday on Aura's feed. What we're seeing with Bungie right now is complete and total. This is whoa. Hey, how about wow? That was interesting. Come on. Yep. What we're seeing from Bungie right now is damage control. Okay, a hunter's about to pick up some heavy, so be ready for that. He just picked up the power ammo. Over where I'm at. Oh, got him, coach. But they needed to just take a breath. They needed to take a step back and go, huh? What? You know, we've had not one thing go wrong. We've had two major things go wrong. There's all the stuff with. Oh, great, really nice one, T. Look at your. You had all the time in the world, T. You could have just looked at your clip, seen that you needed to reload instead of take 2 bullets and then say, "Oh, hey, reload."
You need to reload.
I need to reload. Yeah, that's a bad habit from D1. Anyway, they had egg on their face big time, and they just needed to take a moment and reassess. That's what damage control is all about. Damn it! I did it again. I did it again. I went invis when I didn't want to go invis. All right. I hear it. Oh, no. That's my guy. What? What? Oh, somebody else. This is disaster control in the grandest fashion. This is what you do when you want to make something right. If you want to make it right, then that means that whatever you have planned. Oh crap! This is what happens when I try to talk seriously and not
Play the Crucible.
Play the Crucible. Right, they're coming up. They're coming up here. They're coming up here. He's coming around on this. He's coming around the other side. Ah!
Oh, of course.
And I can see him coming. I've already used mine. Alright. Oop, nope, that's you. Oh, they're behind me. They're behind me.
The enemy's almost won.
Alright. And I can also tell that I'm trying to talk about heavy topics and not have full concentration, because I think I've gotten my super maybe once. Okay, that guy died. I'm happy about that. Yeah, I know. Reload, T. Reload. Reload. And I still managed to get 8 kills. Once upon a time, I had to work to get 8 kills, so at least I know I'm getting better at the game. But yeah, I'm gonna fix. Like I said, I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna fix those commands. I'll have the commands hopefully sorted out, Munch, by tomorrow morning, because I had to get the podcast out today. Now, I will say I will get a chance to play around with the commands again in Nightbot tonight, because tonight I'm doing a dungeon crawl, and the nice thing about doing dungeon crawls, especially through Roll20.net, the Roll20.net is when it gets slow, I can like go to my iPad or go to my laptop and I can tinker around with something while something's getting set up. We have a lot of downtime. It's only during combat. I don't want to be working on Nightbot while I'm working on commands. So yeah, I mean, I think I've made my point. I really do think Bungie's heart is in the right place. I really do believe that. I also believe that Bungie really should have thought out Curse of Osiris before gameplay. And I think Bungie kind of, it's weird. And this is the way I understand it, and this is the stuff based on the stuff that I've read. When you see games in like tech demos and stuff like that, these games are running on systems that have been optimized to do one thing and one thing only, and it's play that game at the highest settings. Which is why when people buy certain games, get them on their systems, and they go, why am I getting dropped frames? Why am I getting all this? Why does it not look like the demo? It doesn't look like the demo because you didn't have that system. I mean, there are plenty of stories where you hear that you have an Xbox console in front of you, right? And you're playing this game, and you got a PSN console, but that console is running through a supercomputer that's underneath, and you don't see that computer. All you see is the console, and you go, "Wow, this is going to be great at home." But that's, and then of course there's the classic story behind Apple and the very first iPhone. What a lot of people didn't know about Apple and the first iPhone, when Steve Jobs demoed it, was they had 3 iPhones underneath the podium. And the story goes that I'm heading for B, by the way. And the story goes is that Jobs, and when you watch the footage, you see it happen. Jobs had 3 iPhones underneath his, and each phone had a specific job. One was going to make calls. The other one was going to surf the internet, and the third one was supposed to run an app. So what he would do is he would be talking about, okay, now we're going to surf the internet, and then, how about mine? Whoa. Wow. Removed from the game world. Please try again. Problem persists. Oh, man. The one time that I really don't like having a beaver. Okay. So I guess, do you want to just rejoin with me? Did you get kicked?
Oh, you've been kicked.
I've been kicked, yeah.
Oh.
I've been kicked.
You poor bastard.
Yeah.
Where are you? Are you in orbit? Or?
I'm in orbit. I'll come and find you. Give me a second. I'll find you. Give me a second. So anyway,
I don't know if we have no, we still have. Oh no, there's the fourth person. I'm gonna leave.
all right. So going back to the story. So what you see in the videos is at the Macworld is astounding, because Steve Jobs talks and he takes the iPhone that he's been playing with. Oh, and Munch just joined us. Fantastic. Hey, Munch, thanks for joining us. So what happens is that Jobs takes the iPhone that he's been playing with, and then he puts it underneath the podium and he starts chit-chatting away. Then he goes, now we're going to go surf the internet. So he goes back to his podium, reaches underneath, and what people don't see is he's got 3 iPhones underneath the podium. And he pulls out what everyone thinks is the same iPhone, different iPhone, and it has one function. It's to browse. So this bait and switch, this shell game, even my hero, Steve Jobs, that God love him, that dysfunctional hero, he did that sort of bait and switch thing, which sucks when you find out. But the thing was, it sold iPhone. It sold the iPhone.
And it's a presentation.
It is a presentation. It's a presentation. It's all about.
And therefore, you prepare everything.
Right. So going back to that. Exactly, Mickey. So going back to that. I think what Bungie was trying to do is that, and again, this is me. This is not just me speaking as a gamer. This is me speaking as someone in marketing, someone in social media, and someone who has spoken around the world. I really believe that that what Bungie was trying to do was just say, we're going to play this just like you were in the actual game. Open transparency. What you're seeing, this kind of gameplay, you can easily do at home. It's not hooked up to a supercomputer. It's not any of that stuff. This is just like the real game. Because if Bungie really were all about the shell game, they would have. I'll tell you about the emblem in a second, Munch. So, if Bungie really was just about making bank, and that's it, they would have sweetened that demo so that when you got the 2 chests, you would have seen tokens flying everywhere. You've seen glimmer flying everywhere. You would have seen exotic armor flying out the wazoo, all that stuff.
The part is, they didn't even play it live on stream.
I didn't know. That public event was not live?
Was a capture from earlier. That was not live.
Wow.
The Infinite Forest, that was live. But
okay. Again, this is
the beginning. As you know, you never know when the public event will happen. That's why we captured it earlier the day.
So either now we're getting back into speculation. So either they didn't have a chance to review the public event, which would have been a boneheaded move on Bungie's part, because with all the
they just didn't think about it.
They really didn't. They really didn't
think about it. This is they saw the great event they made. The great event.
Yes.
How much you have to jump
and it is
and stuff, and that it is great.
It's an epic.
You lose the focus. You got so focused on one part that you
wow.
don't see the other part.
Wow.
I mean, it happens to me, or I know it happens to everyone.
You're absolutely right.
You're focused on your part, and you totally lose track of something else, and something else from another gonna see it from another point and say, hey, what? All this work for 2 tokens? You're fucking kidding me? And
yeah.
Look how great you can work together. More than 3 people can join the event. And
but that was the thing, though. That was the other thing. You could tell something went wrong when Deej, because if Deej went, and look at those sweet, and he wanted to say loot, yeah. And it was 2 tokens and a blue, and he was like, moves, because they were all grooving.
That's when he realized it.
Yeah, and but you're right. I totally forgotten that they said we captured that early. Which makes it even worse on Bungie's part, because that meant that somebody high up had to look had to look at that footage, make sure it looked pretty, and say, we're good. And you're probably right. This is, again, speculation. Maybe they were so pleased with the way everything looked. Now, they could have, had Deej known it was coming, had somebody known, had the developers on the couch known it was coming, they could have said, okay, we realize the loot's a little dodgy there. Don't worry, this is just a demo mode. If they had said something like that, I think 2 Tokens in a Blue would not have gone anywhere. They could have just blown it off as a joke and moved forward. But the fact that nobody said anything about it and hoped, maybe nobody will notice that. Wow. That completely changes the perspective of it. Because I thought they were playing it live. You're absolutely right.
Oh.
Wow.
It was that part. And it's the same thing when I finish one of my presentations and I gave it to a marketing guy or to a technical guy. They both have totally different opinions about the presentation.
Right.
Because they saw it through their own eyes. The technical side, hey, there should be more. Needs to be more technical stuff, and the marketing guy said, hey, there are not enough pretty pictures or something.
Right.
Or
right.
enough selling points and stuff like that. So maybe just the wrong person watched the video before they and signed it off. Said yes, okay, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Defeating an opponent drops their crest. That's
I mean, this is gonna sound mean against developers, and it's not meant to sound mean, but when it comes to giving presentations, developers may not always be your best evaluators of what. Oh, two guys. Hang on. Oh no, that's you. All right. Dang it.
Yeah, that's the part. I can remember the first product we developed, or our company developed, the first energy storage part.
Right.
It was mainly developed by technicians, engineers, and there were no people involved who actually installed that stuff. And it was quite. It's good, Don't get me wrong. It's good. It's a good thing. But you see, okay, there's something missing. And with the second and the third generation, we have a lot of people in there, a lot of people, practice people who say, okay, that's quite nice, but nobody will do it that way because you have to lay down on the floor to connect it, and that is not comfortable for anybody.
Alright.
Show your enemy what a real fight looks like.
Alright, I got power, guys, just so you know.
My resilience is at
Okay. Okay, that's a fun gun. That's the first time I've ever used the trace, the trace cannon in Crucible. Oh, that's ridiculous. All right, two guys coming down the courtyard. Ooh, and now I'm blinded.
Oh. That's more like it. You see the right.
Ah, crud.
British guys joining us and everything.
There you go.
Changes.
So yeah, I mean, wow. You kind of blew my mind there. I'd totally forgotten that. Oh, all right.
Only 5 minutes left.
But I do think it was very smart on Bungie's part to just say there's not going to be a feed today, because pretending that there was nothing wrong just makes a bad situation worse.
Yeah.
Damn it. And while I'm not going to necessarily say poor Deej, because that just belittles the guy, I will say that the guy's got a monumental task. He's got to be the first line of defense. He's got to be the first line of defense. That's his job. Yeah, that's the part of the job that nobody sees.
Yeah, that's the part. Everybody, oh, that's so nice. You can traveling around and stuff like that. But you have to deal with that.
Yeah.
And they go to Deej because Deej is the face of the company, not some CEO or something like that. It's Deej.
Yeah.
If you ask anybody about Bungie and who you know and stuff like that, they all say Deej.
Yep. And
always be Deej.
But see now, and that's sort of the upside downside of being Deej. Is, yeah, he's the face of the company, but he's also, but he's not the he's the face of the company. He's the voice of the company, but he also can't. But he doesn't have the authority to step in when something like the 2 tokens and a blue happens and go, now guys, I know that you're seeing the rewards there looking pretty sparse, but it's okay. You know, this is just a demo. We'll have that fixed by the time we get going, because if he said, what?
Yeah, that's it. He can't say it.
No.
Strong, and this battle is yours.
He and that's a. I've been in that position before. I've been in that position before. Where you want to say, oh yeah, this is cool. Everything will be fine, but you can't because you don't have that authority.
Is all I ask.
And man. Whew. It's
Victory! I like you, Guardian. You don't try to be fierce.
I know.
You just
I know the feeling. I know the feeling, totally.
Yeah.
So,
it makes such a difference when I pay attention to the game. Wow. The guy above me had a 7.0 efficiency rating. Very nice. Yeah. But it's but I'm not necessarily going. Oh, so I'm sorry. So just going to change up this subject. The emblem, Munch. You're asking me about the emblem. Yes, I love that emblem. I've had that emblem for a couple of days now. I finally installed it. That is the emblem that you get during Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Bungie was having a sale, and I said, okay, well, I'm going to buy something just so I can get this emblem, because it's a badass emblem. And I was going to get, I think, I was either going to get the spicy ramen or the clean sweeper shirt and just treat myself. And then I saw they had this, and it's going to ship next year, but it's a plush Cade. And it's a plush Cade, and he's got the Colonel with him. He's got the chicken. And I said, oh, I can't say no to that. So I picked that up. And when I eventually get my stuffed Cade, he's probably going to sit here in the foreground just to keep an eye on me and what I'm doing. Now, I noticed, speaking of cool emblems, I noticed, Mickey, your emblem. And you've got 2 Prestige Nightfalls on there?
yeah.
Did you run them both with Zach, or did you only run the one with Zach?
No, both.
Oh, okay. I was wondering about that.
I actually won 3 times with Zach. It was quite funny. That's why I was always a little bit reluctant to enter. You know, so the last 2 times I entered, I won within 2 runs. Okay, just I need to be really sure. And one day, I just came. Oh look, Zach, Daddy, enter! I entered and came in and had so terrible internet connection that we had to.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
That's so. By the way, T, did something happen with you and Twitch?
What, you mean just now?
No, yeah, because I was watching our stream from yesterday earlier, and there is always this ad supports Twitch, or if your partner, the name of the partner is there.
Oh yeah.
And I was looking at it. This ad supports the T-Monster. I said, "Whoa, did something happen with you?" Or
believe me, if that had happened, I would have been the first one to say, "Hey guys."
Maybe you're affiliate and you didn't even know it.
Alright, that's a good way to start the game, guys. Whoa! Misadventure? What was a misadventure? I was standing on the steps.
My grenade.
Get out, really? I got killed by your grenade?
Somehow.
Nah, get back there. Get back here. There we go. Alright. I got kicked again. Wow. Okay. Alright, that's... No, when I get kicked a second time...
Maybe you need to reset your...
Yeah, maybe I need to reset. Alright, let me... Third time's a charm. Third time's a charm. Let me get back on the team with you guys. Oh. Wait, did all you guys get kicked? Because I don't even see you guys on the friends list.
No, I'm still in the game.
Still in the game? Too. Oh, there's Munch. There's Munch. Oh, hang on. Let's see if I can... Oh, but I can't... Yeah, not enough space on the fire team. All right, let me do this. I'm going to go on ahead and reboot my system, and then I'll come back on, and we'll make this a part two of the stream. So, rebooting. Be right back, everybody.